Welcome to GlenPharmer Distillery. GlenPharmer Distillery was founded in Franklin, Massachusetts by Pat and Beth Downing, a husband and wife team with a shared enthusiasm for craftsmanship and a personal history that shaped their journey into distilling. Our historic location is also home to our tasting room/restaurant on the main level where visitors can enjoy our spirits, cocktails, and amazing dishes within a polished casual dining experience, as well as a second floor specifically repurposed to host events of all kinds. We like to start off our tours by explaining our name, GlenPharmer. It has three distinct parts to it. The first is Glen, which by definition refers to a narrow valley, often with a river running through it. Historically, distilleries and mills were located in glens because they needed close proximity to water for power and production. Our GlenPharmer Distillery is located in a restored textile mill that sits in a glen with a river running alongside it, making that part of its name a natural fit. The second part of our name, Farmer, comes from the post-prohibition farmer distillery license. Farmer licenses were created to promote domestic agriculture while supporting breweries, wineries, and distilleries. GlenPharmer Distillery operates under a farmer distillery license, connecting its work to the agricultural roots of the craft. The PH in Farmer is a nod to the founders' backgrounds as pharmacists. Before starting the distillery, Pat and Beth owned what was once the longest continuously operating pharmacy in Massachusetts. During Prohibition, pharmacies were one of the few places legally allowed to distribute alcohol by prescription. The distillery proudly displays Prohibition-era prescriptions that reflect this history, illustrating how pharmacists played a role in alcohol distribution during that time. This legacy of precision, care, and attention to detail is carried into every aspect of GlenPharmer's distillation process. The entire process starts with a mash bill, which is essentially a recipe, depending on what's being made: whiskey, vodka, gin, rum, or agave spirit. The ingredients vary. For whiskey, grains are combined in a mash tun. Water is added, and the mixture is cooked. This cooking process uses enzymes in the grains to convert starches into sugars, creating a sugary liquid called wort. The quality of the mash bill and the cooking process is critical as it creates the foundation for the flavors that will develop later. The wort is then cooled and transferred to fermenters. Yeast is added, and it feeds on the sugars, producing alcohol and CO2 as byproducts. At this stage, the liquid is often referred to as ferment or distiller's beer. It's not the kind of beer you'd want to drink, but it's a key step in creating the base alcohol that will continue being distilled. From here, the ferment is transferred to the stills to separate the alcohol from the rest of the mixture. In distillation, alcohol is separated into three categories: heads, hearts, and tails. The hearts are the desirable alcohol that is kept, while the heads and tails are either discarded or reused in specific ways. GlenPharmer has two main production stills. The first is a 500-gallon traditional copper pot still encased in a stainless steel steam jacket paired with an offset hybrid column and condenser. The second still is a 1,000-gallon copper pot still with the same configuration, but also with a full vodka column and gin basket. The entire ensemble delivers the highest quality in small batch production, with the capacity to support GlenPharmer's robust portfolio of spirits. As a grain-to-glass distillery, GlenPharmer completes nearly every step of this production process on site. The distillery makes sure that the highest quality is adhered to along every step, from mashing to fermenting, distilling, aging, and bottling. The highly skilled distillers at GlenPharmer play a key role in maintaining these quality standards, ensuring that every decision contributes to the creation of exceptional spirits. If a clear spirit like vodka is being made, it is bottled after distillation. For brown spirits like whiskey or rum, the liquid is aged in barrels to develop its flavor and color. Aging is a lengthy process, and each barrel contributes its own unique characteristics to the spirit. When it comes to barrels, the distillery uses charred oak barrels, sourced from its trusted cooperage. The charring process not only contributes to the color and flavor of a barrel-aged spirit, it also filters the spirit as it absorbs into the wood and is then expressed back out. Over time, this interaction contributes to the smoothness and complexity of the aged spirit. As part of this aging process, some of the alcohol evaporates through the wood barrel, which is known in the industry as the Angel's Share. At GlenPharmer, hundreds of these spirit-filled barrels now rest in our barrel storage room. Once the spirits are ready to bottle, GlenPharmer uses its own bottling and labeling production line in a space right next to the barrel room to complete the manufacturing process. Specific to the bottles, creating and perfecting an apothecary design that reflected GlenPharmer's roots in pharmacy was a journey in itself, and the variation of each version explored and utilized are on display in our tasting room. Once the bottles are filled and labeled, they are ready for distribution to liquor stores, bars, and restaurants, as well as to guests who visit the distillery. One of the most rewarding aspects of distilling at GlenPharmer is a blend of art and science that is required. Distillation is a very technical process involving precise temperature controls, timing, and chemistry. But it's also a deeply creative process, allowing for experimentation with flavors, ingredients, and techniques. The philosophy of balancing art and science is embodied by the skilled distillers whose craftsmanship ensures that each spirit reflects GlenPharmer's commitment to quality. Thank you for taking the time to learn about GlenPharmer Distillery. We welcome you to taste our spirits, dine at our restaurant, and experience what truly makes GlenPharmer special. This is GlenPharmer.